Praise the Lord, everyone. I got another video that I want to do here tonight. This is a little bit different than a lot of other videos I've done. You can probably tell by the title, but this is not political. I'll make that clear. If this applies to folks on the right or on the left. If you're a reasonable thinking individual on the right, if you like your rights, if you want to fight for your rights, and you like the free speech and your gun rights and all these other things, this is for you. If you're on the left and you're interested in social justice, then this is for you. Okay, this is the issue of racial profiling by the police and that the police harassing black and brown folks. Now, I want to be clear about something. First of all, is I don't believe that this is all cops, like the communists are doing, burning down our cities and stuff, saying all cops are bad. That's I don't believe that. I don't think that we should defund the police. I think that's ridiculous. I don't think it's most cops, but I think it's enough of them that it's a real problem. It's an actual issue that needs to be addressed. If you're a white guy or white individual and you live in white neighborhoods or things of that nature, you might not realize what's going on or what's been going on. But let me explain to you. Let me share a story with you now. So I've been pulled over by the cops many times. A lot of times in my younger years, when I was a teenager. I remember I was like 16 or something like that, and I got a ticket. And it was pretty funny. And that wasn't very funny, actually. It cost a lot of money. But my grandmother, she a very sweet lady, she said, "Oh, they're just picking on him." And my grandfather, who seemed to have a bit more wisdom in the situation, said, "Well, they're picking on anyone doing 85 and a 45." Okay, but I've never been pulled over for no reason except when black folks were in my car. And I've been pulled over 2 times for absolutely no reason when I had black folks in the car. It's never happened once without that. Now, let me tell you about one time in particular. Okay, if you're from my area, you'll know what I mean by the East Beltline. I'm driving down the East Beltline. It's a pretty fast road. It's like a 45 to 55, depending on where you're at. And it's going down the road, and there's a cop behind me. And it's a female cop, but she's a good ways back. I'm just going down the road, just minding my own business. And I got my friend and his girlfriend in the car, and they happen to be black folks. And going down the road, and all of a sudden, after a while, this cop pulls right up on my rear bumper. I mean, she is right on top of me. I'm driving a small car, a low-to-the-ground car, and I can't see her front bumper. I can see her bumper guard, but I can't see the bumper itself. She's that close to me, and I'm driving a tiny little car, and she's right on me. So I slow down because in my mind she's trying to pass me or something. She's trying to, I don't know what she's doing. I mean, it's really weird when someone's that close to you. So I slow down. I'm thinking she wants to go around me, and she puts her lights on and pulls me over. Okay, so I pull over, and what's interesting enough is there was only one cop car behind me. But by the time I'd been pulled over, by the time I got over and the car was off, I looked, there was 2 cop cars there. There was only one behind me. When I asked the officer, well, what the issue was, she said I was driving too slow. Driving too slow. The only reason I was driving slow was because she tailgated me. So I slowed down. Let me explain to you what happened. Okay, what she wanted to do, what they all wanted to do was to search my car, search all of us, ID all of us. And that's what they did. They searched my car. They patted all 3 of us down. They ran all of our IDs. And eventually, and I'm sitting alongside the curb. All of us are sitting on the curb of the road or on the side of the road, pulling us over for no reason at all. And, eventually we get on our way. But what happened there was we were racially profiled. Not me, but my passengers. Okay? That's what they wanted to do. They wanted to search us. They wanted to ID us. That would have never happened had there been no black folks in the car. Now, this is a small issue. This is only one of 2 times that this happened to me, but this kind of thing is happening over and over again and in much more severe cases than that. And if you don't believe me, you get on your Facebook videos or your YouTube videos and just search it. And you can watch video after video after video of crazy cops pulling out guns, pointing guns at the head of people sitting in their cars peacefully with their hands on steering wheel, and they got a gun on them. And you can see these kind of videos going over and over again. Everybody is videotaping everything. And what I want to say is this is a real issue and it needs to be addressed. I want you to think about this from this perspective. Now, we in America, we owe a lot, especially to the American worker. We owe a lot to the unions. Now, the unions of old. I don't work for a union. I get paid a decent living, and I got decent insurance, and I'm happy with what I get from my job. I'm content. Okay, but the reason that I'm able to do that is because people in the past paid the price and went to war and fought the big industries and things of that nature who were taking advantage and trampling on the constitutional rights of the American worker, where they were not being treated properly. So somebody else went to war and fought so that I can have a decent job and not be abused, because of the unions there were laws changed, and policies were in place, and safeguards were put in place, and I'm not saying that every company's perfectly wonderful. I'm not saying that, but we've come a long ways from back in the day when this country first become industrialized. Okay, we've come a long ways from then, and we've made a lot of progress in the right direction since then, and we can owe a lot of that to the unions. And that's why the Democrat Party for so many years has had the union vote. Okay, and that's why the Republicans did not get the union vote. But see, we take a look at it from that perspective. So if you love your Constitution and you love your guns and you love your free speech, and I do, and I'm going to vote for Donald Trump. I'm a Republican. I'm on that side, and I believe in Second Amendment and free speech. Let me tell you this: free speech is not free from consequences. You can say what you want, but so can everybody else. So don't think that like if I put this video and people don't like it, they can say whatever they want about it, right? That's free speech. That's what it's about. Okay? So we have to deal with that. Speech is not violence. So if you like your guns, great. If you have a gun in every room of your house, great. If you have an AR-15 for your half bath, that's great. Okay, and you'll fight for those rights. And I like my gun rights. I don't have a lot of guns, but you know what? If you're breaking in my house, you're going to find out two things. One is that you're not going to get in without waking me up, because I've been expecting you. And number two, it's a lot easier to get in than it is to get out. Okay, so, but, and I'll fight for my rights, but will I fight for someone else's rights? Will I fight for someone else's constitutional rights being trampled on? What we need to do is come together, whether you're on the right or on the left, and say, this is a problem. It's a real issue. It needs to be addressed. Is it every cop? No. Is it most cops? No. But it's enough of them. It's enough cops that are terrorizing people. And we need to address it. And there needs to be checks and balances. I'm not talking about internal affairs and all that stuff and, back the blue stuff. I'm talking about we the people police the police. And watching these videos and watching the cop cams and every complaint being examined and looked at. We take the good cops who are out there doing a good job and we pay them more and we give them better benefits, and that will draw a bigger bunch of folks into that. And that way we can get rid of the bums, get rid of the racists, get rid of the people that don't deserve to walk around with that kind of authority. Okay, we need to get rid of them. And in some cases, we need to prosecute them. We don't need to brush it under the rug, because I'm telling you what, if we don't do it, I'm talking to right-wingers, if we don't do it, the communists are gonna. They're doing it right now. They're burning down buildings and all this stuff. If we don't act, they will. Okay? And if we let that happen, then and people that think like you and I are going to be rounded up and brought off to re-education camps. Okay? And we're going to be waiting on in bread lines for some government truck to show up. Okay, if you want to keep your rights, if your rights are important to you, then we need to stand up and fight for the rights of every American. Okay, police the police. It's an issue. Till next time, praise the Lord.